in the US. Is it a special product or is it a commodity? Is it a selective product for the few, or do you want to see it as a commodity? My thinking is that the demand is so high for Kenyan nurses that we need to have a sitting, and I'm talking to Susan Nakumisha and the team, and Mary, who is in charge of PS Mary, who is in charge of KMTC. We need to look at our production pipeline, yeah? Because if tea is a good export for Kenya, I will sit with tea farmers and get TDA. Now, because this nurses is a tea, where is our KTDA, which is KMTC? So there is so much focus on getting the opportunities. The opportunities are a dime a dozen. You cannot satisfy. The US market alone has a shortage of 1 million nurses at any one time. So the problem is not the demand. The demand is assured, it is there. The problem is organizing the supply chain. And I want to invite that we look at this issue of nurses. You can see the 2,500 nurses for Saudi. We are struggling with that because we have not looked at the production, the supply chain for that. That's number one. My number two issue is on domestic workers. One, for the Gulf countries, we need to make a conscious decision. Let's not hide our head in the sand. Are we in this space or not in this space? We are in it. So if we are in it, so there's no shame. There's nothing to hide that we are in this space. Let us now, because when I was in Saudi, I asked some of the recruiters there, who is an ideal domestic worker? So they told me it is from the age of 28 going forward. Now, who has been going for these jobs? With all humility, do you know who has been going for jobs? Mutu amekuwa divorced. They are going through a rough patch in life. Akona domestic issues. These are not foreign workers, these are refugees. And when they go there, within maybe 3 months, unless I could compare, am I better off with my husband or with this kind of work? So reality starts downing, and that's why we have got 30%. At least for Saudi, Kenya is the highest escape ratio in Saudi. Kenya is the highest. You can take that from your counterparts. What I attribute it to, as somebody who has worked in that region for many years, is we need to create people who are made for that work. And I would recommend within our schedule, we take a benchmarking tour in Philippines. You guys can help us to organize a benchmarking tour for Philippines and Indonesia. Yeah, 2 countries. To go and ask ourselves, to go and compare. Philippines does not leave it to happenstance, to chance. Philippines cultivates its domestic workers specifically for the foreign market. It's something I've asked NYS, we are looking at it. We want to develop a whole program of how do we get people who want to go for domestic work consciously. Yeah, actually we want to train them in Samburu. Mtu ambaye atasurvive huko Samburu, atasurvive Saudi Arabia. We have got a camp called Kirimon there, where we want to put our domestic workers training, and we want to train them in tens of thousands, in Samburu, consciously, so that we don't get people going to work, especially in the Gulf, because they had no other option in life. We have a product that was specifically produced, designed, so that we can be able to reduce this. That's just some comments which I think can help us on the nurses and the domestic workers, to that these 2 areas can uplift. The third one, of course, is maritime jobs, and I want to invite you to a discussion we had with the people from Youth Affairs. We have got a program called Nyota. I know you know Nyota. We have agreed with CS AJAABU na Mwamba that Diaspora Affairs, Labor, NYS, KMTC, and Bandari College are going to be beneficiary of this 20 billion shillings program from the World Bank, so that to do exactly what I'm saying, to create people fit for purpose. So I want to encourage you to get in touch with Ismail, PS Ismail, to see how you plug in diaspora affairs into this program, so that this institution will use these monies to go and develop fit for purpose people from our institution. I would even say that we need to rope in Esther Moria and Beatrice Nyangara, so that even for the higher cadres from TVET and from the universities, so that we can have a holistic supply chain. So we have managed to convince the Ministry of Youth to use this money. If only it can help us to achieve the 1 million, then there's return on investment. The bulk of it, of this money, 20 billion shillings, need to be on creating this supply chain, yeah, not on other things where we cannot account for the money. So this is money that Kenyans will pay for. So why can't we join forces? We go and ask Bandari College, how can I make sure that you give me 500,000 seafarers or maritime workers? We go and ask KMTC, what part of this money can we give you for us to give us nurses specifically trained for export? We go and ask NYS, how can we use this money to get people, domestic workers, which is we are going to give to NYS, designed for this. We go and ask Esther Moria, what program can you anchor in the TVET in Yangala? The same. We ask PS Transport, the same. I think we need to have a conversation around Nyota, because this is our money. It is not for Ministry of Youth. It's for the country. And the purpose for this money is to three agendas. One of them being technical skills, the other one being startup fund, the third one being labor migration. So let us work early enough to ensure that, I would say, more than 70% needs to go to labor migration, because the returns are clear and instant for the people. We want our economy to grow, but it is doubtful whether it can